Sony Xperia 1 Mark 6, and here's my review video. So, yeah, I've had this thing for probably about a month now, and I absolutely love it. And I've been using it. I've replaced my Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra with it. Surprise of surprises, this is my favorite phone so far this year. Call me surprised. Maybe you're not. Maybe I'm more surprised, but I like this phone way more than I thought that I would. I had a lot of reservations about this phone going in because, well, I've been a big fan of the Sony phones for years. I like that 21:9 aspect ratio, I like the 4K screen, and we knew there were trade-offs going into this because, well, no more 4K, not even the standard default resolution of Quad HD plus, 1080p. But I gotta say, as I've been using this phone is a treat. And every time that I turn it on, I really enjoy the screen on here. So we still have the 6.5-inch screen, which, hey, that's totally fine with me. 6.5-inch screen, I love that. I think it's the perfect size for a big phone, especially with the narrow profile. And it still has a pretty narrow profile on it. Very easy to hold one-handed. And it has a brighter screen. It's an OLED panel. Yes, it's full HD plus. It's got the ability to throttle down the refresh rate so you can get a lower refresh rate. It can throttle up to a higher refresh rate to save on battery, 120 hertz, AMOLED, all that great stuff. And yeah, I think that they did a great job with it. So if you move away from the fact that yes, there is a quality downgrade, but you can't tell because the pixel density is still about, I believe, 390 something pixels per inch, which according to the folks over at Apple, if you even care, that's what the quality standard is for their Retina display. Like the eyes, you just can't tell the difference. So there are some folks who are like, oh, yeah, it's not 4K, it's not Quad HD plus, and that hurts. It feels like a little bit of a betrayal coming from Sony, and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, guys, we toned it down, but they had to. Why did they have to do it? Because they couldn't get that adaptive refresh rate. They couldn't lower it down. They couldn't put the quality level of screen in here that we need because they were trying to push the 4K resolution. Even with the Quad HD Plus resolution, it was difficult for them. They don't use a lot of other stuff from like Samsung. At least I don't think so anyway. But yeah, that was a problem. They couldn't maintain that 4K resolution. Also, I think of more of a mainstream move. I like the 21 by 5 by 9, and I like the 19 by 5 by 9, which is the more wider. They shortened it just a little bit. They made it a little bit wider. And I was really frustrated at this at first because I'm like, okay, I really love the one-handed capability whenever it comes to the Sony Xperia 1 Mark 5, Mark 4, Mark 3. But as I use this, I took it out of the box. I started using it for like 5-10 minutes. I'm like, man, this is good. Like, this is really good. So yeah, it has my seal of approval. I'm happy with what they've done here. There's not been one moment when I've used this where I'm like, you know what? I kind of wish that they would have stayed the same. This is a change I think probably most people would have welcomed before. So I know there's some hang up on that, but the screen is beautiful, it's brighter, and super high quality. They've done a good job. It's a great panel. And Snapdragon 8 Generation 3, still got the shutter button, still got the headphone jack, still got the 5,000 milliamp battery, still got the SD card slot, got the nano SIM in it. You've also got the eSIM, and it's made a lot of changes. It's got a vapor chamber in here now that helps. I have not noticed the heat ever. And with this density, this new dual density or something battery technology, they say this phone is good for 2 days. I can't kill it. I can't kill this phone in 1 day. I've tried. I just can't do it. So yes, you will get all day battery with this. Even when you're playing games or watching videos for a long time, like the battery, it seems like it hardly trickles out of this thing at all. So battery, phenomenal. The cameras, yeah, kind of the same in the primary department. Yeah, basically the same, but you got the new telephoto that extends out to 7.1 now, and you can take some good photos with this. So I'm going to take a break right here from talking about specs. Here's some photos. So I want to show you these photos that I took with the phone. I went quite a few places with it. I've been in New York, I've been in Chicago, I've been in Vegas. I have traveled a lot with this phone over the last month, and I've taken a lot of photos with it, and I love the photos that this thing puts out. I think they take the most natural photos. I think that it has gotten better. I think that the new camera app that's unified into one app, I think it's really good. I think it helps out non-pro photographers still have the ability to use those pro features, but still do some better point and shoot stuff. The computational photography has definitely improved. It's better in a certain couple different areas, low light and things like that. So overall, I think it's a win. And of course, you can still go hands-on and do the pro controls with it and use it just like a DSLR. So let me know what you think in the comments. I showed some of the best photos I was able to take. It does take good photos. I am happy about the unification of the app for the camera stuff. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff to like here. I don't like the price. I don't like it's not available in the US. That does stink. I paid like $1,300 for this thing, and somebody else, I guess, had already imported it. I actually have the official Sony case for the first time ever. I love this case. One problem though is with this case on, I don't know what it is. Every time I pull it out of my pocket, I don't know whether the phone's upside down or whether it's right side up. So I'll pick it up and I'm like, all right, cool, let me go ahead and press the fingerprint scanner. And then I'm like, oh, I've got it upside down again. So let me turn it upside down. It would be nice if it had facial recognition. It doesn't. If you're new to Sony, this is not something they've done. I don't know when the last time they had one with facial recognition, but it doesn't have it. It does have the power button, also doubles as a fingerprint scanner. I like that. I love it. I wish more phones did it. It makes a lot of sense, and it gets around that whole under the screen garbage, and you don't have to worry about what screen protector you use because you're not using an under the screen fingerprint scanner. So I like that. They took away the whole vibration with the sound thing, like that cool 3D, like not 3D, but the cool vibrational sound effects that goes along with movies. They took that away. It was okay. I mean, I liked it. It was kind of neat sometimes, but I very seldom ever used it. So I don't miss that too much. But yeah, they took that away as well. But they do have better speakers. The speakers are better. They're louder, they're more directional, facing forward, great immersive sound. And there's supposed to be, I believe, an improved DAC. I plugged some earbuds into it. I don't really have any wired stuff anymore. All my stuff's wireless, and the wireless Bluetooth is fine, 5.3. But when I use it with the wired earbuds, it sounded good, but I'm not the biggest audiophile in the world. Like, I believe it has an updated DAC. It definitely has updated speakers. The speakers are better. I can totally vouch for that. And the handset speakers are louder too. That was one thing with the Sony. Like, it didn't always have the loudest volume. I can hear calls on this better, so that's good. 5G. That's a problem that's going to be a concern for a lot of people here in the States. So I'm using T-Mobile. I put my SIM card in it. It doesn't natively do 5G, but there's a special code, and I'll have a code. I'll go ahead and pin it. I'll pin it down in this video, so you can go to the comment section of the video. It should be pinned there. I was able to go in, and I was able to turn on, somebody told me the code to use to go into basically the settings on the phone, not the menu settings, but like the phone settings. And there's something you can change, and it enables 5G. I'm using it on 5G. I did a speed test while I was in like New York, Chicago. You know, I got over 100 megabytes download. I got like 30, 40, 50 megabytes upload. So it does work with 5G. The cell phone signal, though, can be a little spotty sometimes. So I've had places where you would think you have good cell phone signal and not able to make good phone calls. So I've had them cut out before. So here's the thing. In the United States, that's something you're going to have to live with. It may not be the best phone signal for you in the world. That may change. I don't know if it's compatible with Verizon, or I don't know if you can even get AT&T with 5G. I only have a SIM card that my AT&T SIM card in my iPhone is eSIM. So I've got a SIM card here for T-Mobile, but it works with T-Mobile and no big issues there. So is it worth it? I mean, for me it is. I love this phone. And there's not a whole lot of phones that draw me in, offer me this level of excitement, and just phones that I'm crazy about. I love the dedicated shutter button up here on the top. I love the textured Gorilla Glass on the back. Got Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on the front. And yeah, I love the Sony phones. It's got their own unique look, but it's a mostly stock experience. I love we've got the better screen. I think this is the most improved phone in the last year. And if it weren't for the lack of availability in the US, I think a lot of people would be saying, look, you got the vapor chamber, you got better heat management, you got more power, you've got improvements for computational photography, you got the continuous zoom lens that goes up to 7.1 times optical zoom now, and you've got all the other stuff in here too. You got improved sound, improved speakers, you've got longer support now. So we get, what, 3 years of operating system updates now, I believe? I can't remember the exact number on it. I'll post it here on the screen. But they did extend the updates by another year. Instead of 2 updates, you get 3. It could still be better, especially for the price. But I don't know. Maybe that's something that people care about more in the United States than they do over in Japan, where these come from. But overall, I think there's a ton of pluses here. And I really, really, really love this phone. It's great for gaming. It's great for basically anything you want to use it for. And if you're looking for an alternative from Google, from Samsung, and all the other Android manufacturers, Sony still has a special place in my pocket. And where I bought this phone. This was not sent to me. Sony didn't send this to me. I paid $1,300 of my own money, and I got this phone. And it's what my primary SIM card has been in here, other than when I've had to test out other phones. Like, I keep putting it back in this one. I absolutely love the Sony Xperia 1 Mark VI. And yes, there are the disappointments. It doesn't have 5 years of operating system updates. It doesn't have 7 years of operating system updates. You know, it doesn't have the 21:9 aspect ratio anymore. It doesn't have Quad HD Plus or a 4K screen. But all the other stuff is absolute positives and wins, other than the things that might be a slight turnoff to some folks who are diehard Sony fans. And I think if you try it and you give it a whirl, it'll probably change your mind. But the problem is, it's very hard to try and give it a whirl without buying it. And there's not a whole lot of places you can get it in the States, especially where you can just like send it back if you don't want it, right? I got mine off of Swappa. I saw some on eBay. I'm sure more will materialize on Amazon or other places where you can get them. But yeah, that's kind of the problem. Availability is really not good in the United States. It's very difficult to get one here, and a lot of upcharging I've seen for the ones that are available on the resale markets. But otherwise, I love it. I think it's a fantastic phone. Definitely my favorite phone so far this year, and the changes in the areas that I've talked about are very, 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 very welcome. So that's all I got in this video. If you have any questions or comments, thoughts, concerns, please go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, if you found this helpful, if you like the Sony content, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.